Good evening, Nigerians and the lovers of Nigeria and the lovers of justice in Nigeria. We're back here today. Unfortunately, we couldn't do this kind of program last night. It was just so pressuring for both of us. However, this night we come in with something very, very, should I call it information? No. Everything we do here is information, but tonight is more like a warning to all of Nigerians. We want to bring you this information as a way to warn us or to bring to our knowledge what is cooking around, the gang up, the strategies, the schemings around, just to make sure that the will of Nigerians are truncated. Something is happening both in the US and in Nigeria. And what is at the center of all these things is that single word, justice. Will it be scuttled in Nigeria or will it be established? We have it on good note that the Supreme Court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is planning to deliver their verdicts on the presidential elections appeal, the appeal of Labour Party, the appeal of APM, and the appeal of PDP before this week we're entering tomorrow runs out. Whereas the appeal court has not even started hearing the motion. The motion is slated for Monday, being 23rd. There is a plan to crash through the whole thing and deliver judgment even on or before Friday. Secondly, we have been able to tie it to what is happening in the US. The last time we were here, day before yesterday, we brought it to our knowledge that there has been an intervener. Tinubu has gone to the US to intervene and say, FBI and other agencies, don't release my file. I have something to say until you hear from me. Now, we have it on good note, and it is already based on the court document, that indeed it is a strategy, a time-killing strategy, so that the Supreme Court of Nigeria will do what they want to do, and whatever FBI want to release can now be released because they know that they can't stop FBI. But they're only trying to exercise the so-called fundamental rights of fair hearing to delay the release of that file that was supposed to start dropping from Monday, being 23rd. So everything is tied together. And that is what we are here tonight to untie all of them and to show us how the scheme is all geared towards depriving us justice. Because the evidence is overwhelming and the judges are hell-bent on using technicalities to knock everything. We're also going to be showing us the profiles of the people that are in the panel Supreme Court, the bias that is embedded in it, and the politics behind the selection of those people. This night is loaded. This night is important. And this night, Nigerians, if you know what to do, if you know how to pray, if you know how to call, if you know how to step out, do something. Because it's like this is a week of a landmark week for Nigeria, the way things are going. So I'm going to hand over to Ifeoma to say something if she has anything to say, and we start building our case from the Supreme Court of Nigeria and begin to tie everything together. Okay? Thank you.
Yeah, Doc, thank you very much for that beautiful intro. Honestly, there's a whole lot of drama playing out in this case. We all know that the president has taken this smart move, in telling the FBI not to release those damaging files. I mean, those files that he knows will end up damaging his reputation, just like they did when Atiku was trying to get the information he got from the Chicago State University. They've all equally taken the same move now. And we've seen it as a way, a tactic to delay the whole process. They just want to get this process delayed. And honestly, it's not really going to be in their own favor because another lawyer has equally gone to court to counter their move He has gone to court to tell the court, don't allow these people to succeed. FBI, you've got to release this information. We want this information to be released so that the Supreme Court will make use of it. Although we are having this speculation that the Supreme Court will not admit it and all that, that might also be another strategy that they want to use. So as it stands now, they are trying to delay the release of this document from the FBI. And at the same time, they might equally want to rush in giving the final verdict so that these files that the FBI will release will not, counter whatever plans they have in the future. So this image on my screen, you can see a lawyer has equally taken this step, going to the court to stop whatever step that President Tinubu has taken, because as it stands, they don't want the FBI file to be released before the final verdict that is going to come out from the Supreme Court. So I will allow Doctor to dive deep into all this and make it clearer for us to understand what is going on at the moment. Doc, back to you.
Okay, good. We'll come back to this particular Aaron Greenspan link and his own strategy, the moves he's making. But first and foremost, I want us to see the list of the judges, the panel that will be sitting in this appeal. Now, here we have Justice Dati Musa Mohammed, who is from Niger State. We have Justice Uwane Abba Aji from Yobe State. Niger State is not central. Justice Uwane Abba Aji is from Yobe State, which is northeast. And then we have Lawal Garba, which is Zamfara, northwest. We have Justice Helen Ogunwumiju from southwest. We have Justice Saulawa from Katsina, northwest. We have Justice Tijani Abubakar Jigawa, northwest. And then we have Justice Emmanuel Ajim from Cross River, which is south-south. Okay. Now you might say, why are we interested in all this? We are interested because we know that Nigeria is currently tensed because of ethnic and religious issues. Equity is something that everybody's crying about. We also know that there is this tension that the whole election is about Muslim ticket. The Minister of Defense currently is a Muslim from Northwest. The Minister of State for Defense is a Muslim from Northwest. And the National Security Advisor, a Muslim from Northeast. You know, those things are important. And someone yesterday was threatening, even though Wike is not my man, that Abuja belongs to them, that anybody who is not a Muslim and from North who is made the minister of the FCT is an infidel. So coming from this background and considering the fact that there is this thought of imbalance, I was only thinking that this 7-man, at least we have 6 zones in this country, that they would have picked to show a semblance of balance in the places where they pick their justices. Okay, fine. Let us leave it there. Secondly, show me Justice Helen Ogunwumiji. Who is Justice Helen? And show me Justice Helen and the sons. And let us see something there. When you see, this is Justice Helen Ogunwumiji and sons, credits to Ned Media, who is able to put these pictures together for us. Ned Media is one of those channels that I have said here, times without number. We're all working together and he's doing a great job. Now, you can see one is Kehinde, the other one is Moyin. Kehinde, her son, is a lawyer who have been defending APC in many of their election tribunal cases. And what it means is that any of the cases Kehinde defend that gets to Supreme Court, he will probably be there pleading the case of his clients being APC before his mother. Do you understand what I mean here? On the other hand, Moyin is also her son, who is Can you hear me, please? Moyin is also her son, who is a current serving member of House of Rep under the platform of APC. Now, this woman will be her votes will determine whether APC government should remain as the government in power in Aso Rock or not. Her vote is important. And with all this bias, she still accepted to be in the panel. Now, one of the judges that was approached to be in this panel recused herself because she considered it a conflict of interest, being that her husband is one of the board members of Atiku Abubakar University. He's a board member. He's not practicing law, and he's not even doing anything in the politics. She thought that this is a conflict of interest because my husband sits in a board where Atiku has interest. I recuse myself. But this woman, her sons on her right hand, is a lawyer who has been defending APC in cases in this current post-election litigations. And the other son is currently sitting on the National Assembly, getting ready to receive a Prado Jeep of 160 million naira. And her mom will be deciding whether APC will remain or not. I don't want to insinuate anything. I leave it to you Nigerians to now draw your conclusion. But if I am asked, I will say, what is it they talk about people recusing themselves for conflict of interest? I leave it there. Now show me the head of the panel. The head of the panel, the slide that shows the picture of the head of the panel. Yes, this is Honorable Justice Musa Datijo Muhammad. He is the person who is going to be heading this panel. Surprisingly, the man is due to start his terminal leave by the end of this week. We're entering tomorrow. And he is the head of the panel. So let's put two together. What does that tell us? If he's going to finish his assignment before going on terminal leave, it then means that the judgment must come on or before his terminal leave starts. Or is it going to cause a constitutional crisis? Will he go on leave and still come from the terminal leave to preside over such important judicial matter that will be deciding the fate of the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of a country? I don't know. Nigerians, I don't know. I leave it to you to decide what was it that gave him the prompting to say, I will not just accept to sit in the panel, I will also accept to head the panel, knowing fully well that I am about to proceed on my terminal leave in a matter of days, not even weeks. Will they extend his retirement? Will they extend it? I don't know. But that is why we think that they are due to release the verdict. Now, there is a difference between the verdict and the certified true copy of the judgment. What they could do is that they could come and in a one page, you remember the judgment that came from US on the Chicago State University matter. The summary of the judgment was on a page, but the details were more than 10 pages going forward. They could come and they will just say, there is merit in this, there is no merit in this. If there is no merit in this, this is our verdict. And then they will say, we will communicate the parties on when they will receive the full detail of the judgment, how we arrive at our verdict. They can do it on Tuesday. They can do it on Wednesday. And they can post us till December before they even release it. The law does not determine when they will release the detail, to the best of my knowledge. And by so doing, the tension, the idea is to kill the tension. People are like, why did they say so? Can we see? Oh, the judgment is not out. The certified true copy is not out. And while that is happening, the tension is wearing out. It's wearing out. It's wearing out. These are the technical things that are in the works. And how does it link with what is happening in America? Show me that particular slide where there is an underlined red line of what is happening in America. And let's link the whole thing together. Because now look at here. There is an application made by Aaron Greenspan. That is the lawyer that is working for the interests of David Hundeyin. In one of the paragraphs, it says here, pursuant to Local Civil Rule 7, plaintiff attempted to discuss this matter by email and phone with Attorney Littman, but he responded that he is on leave today. In the light of the above, plaintiff requests a remote Zoom or similar hearing at the court's earliest convenience, and ideally on Monday, October 23rd, to discuss even the most remote possibility of documents being produced before the October 31st chosen by defendant for themselves. Now look at it. The plaintiff, which is Aaron Greenspan, he wanted to discuss this matter by email with Attorney Littman. I think Attorney Littman is the guy that is handling the one of the defendant, which is the Tinubu's group. And the guy said that he's on leave. He's not interested in discussing it. What does that tell you? The stress test there, the information, the body language there tells you that these guys are posting us. They are looking for technical reasons to keep delaying. Now, Aaron Greenspan is asking, please, can we hear this thing on or before Monday, even by mail or by Zoom? Because the defendant themselves, which is the APC and Tinubu group, they wanted the hearing to be done on the 31st of October, which is Tuesday upper week. Why? Have you asked yourself? Why are they choosing Tuesday upper week? And why is it that all of a sudden the Supreme Court decided to hear the motion in Nigeria on Monday? And the man who is heading the panel will be going on terminal leave by 27th. It's a very simple thing. FBI file is so damaging that even though the content of FBI file cannot be tendered in the court again because it was not pleaded for, and David Hundeyin is not a party to it, the information will produce a heavy moral burden on the shoulders of our judges. You know how I know? Show me the slide of Aaron Greenspan where in the application he made to the court. Show me the slide and let me show us just the first paragraph of Aaron Greenspan. It says here, plaintiff's emergency motion for hearing. He's asking for emergency motion to hear, to compel immediate document production. And what is in it? He says, this lawsuit concerns a number of Freedom of Information Act requests about who? About Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is recognized by many as the current president of Nigeria. Now listen, he says, Mr. Tinubu had a role in the early 90s, laundering money for a heroin ring in Chicago. The Freedom of Information Act requests at issue in this case largely involve documents that more fully describe his role in that criminal enterprise. Remember that the so-called argument in the appeal court was is a criminal forfeiture, is a civil forfeiture. Now, this thing is meant to bring the perspective of the DEA and the FBI to tell the world, to know who they are dealing with, so that the judges themselves, even if they want to go ahead and rule, let them rule despite what they know. That is why they are trying to get crashed the judgment before FBI file is released. And that is why they themselves are begging for 31st. I want to believe that they have programmed it for the judgment to be given before the 31st comes. But what it summarizes here again is interference in the judicial independence. It looks like the executive and the judiciary is coordinating this thing. It looks like the presidency and the Supreme Court justices are coordinating. They are sitting down, they are comparing notes, they are saying, let's do it this way, let's do it the other way. Because when these people fix 31st October as their own time, remember, we know for more than a month that FBI said they will release this. They didn't want to intervene, because if they had started intervening 2 weeks ago, the case would have completed. They waited for this dying minutes before they went to intervene, so that the process of giving them that freedom, the right of fair hearing, will still be in the works when what happened, our own Supreme Court gives their verdict. So everything is orchestrated, it is planned. So that tells you that there is a coordination between Aso Rock and their foot soldiers and the Supreme Court. Now, I don't want to draw conclusion, but I leave it to us Nigerians. What do you think? Okay, that is Dele Momodu that is also publishing the same thing here. Aaron Greenspan just filed a motion in the ongoing Freedom of Information lawsuit, requesting the government agencies to commence release of the approved information immediately, since Nigerian Supreme Court is being rushed through the hearing so as to end run the release of the FBI files. Okay, it's no longer coming from me. Everything points to what you are trying to say. There is a coordination between the Supreme Court. And remember, we have done it here, that the man that is the go-between the presidency and the Supreme Court is the current Minister of Justice. And this current Minister of Justice was a man who was 2 months ago a defense lawyer in this same matter. They picked him a defense lawyer and make him minister. He became the chief executive officer over the judges. The judges are now depending on him to raise their salary. Just look at the whole thing. Nigerians, you will understand. You will understand why justice in this election petition will be miracle from above. It has to be God. It has to be miracle. It has to be. Thank you. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add to this.
So, Doc, I just want to say you can imagine a situation where the Supreme Court upholds the current president as the president of Nigeria. I don't know how Nigeria will be able to survive this, in the next 3+ years to come, because there will be a lot of things. There's this guy that was denied visa, and they boldly wrote it that one of the conditions for which he's being denied visa is because of the case of forgery coming from Nigeria. I mean, this is a recent development. Nigerians, we keep asking, should the Supreme Court uphold the victory that was given to the sitting president by INEC? How are we going to manage this situation for the next, even for the next 1 year? It's going to be hell on earth. I mean, Nigerians are already going through a lot. People are being rejected, people are denied visas, opportunity doors are being closed against Nigerians, and so many things that are happening. And how would they even be able to defend themselves? It means that even if he goes on a visit, to other countries, some of the presidents will not even want to sit down with him. Because I know there are still men of integrity around the world. There are people that will not want to associate with such a person, because no matter what they do today, even if the Supreme Court upholds his victory and the FBI releases this file, I mean, this file is going to be damaging. You can see the little section that Dr. Te read out. I don't know if you listened to what he read out from that little section. You can imagine the kind of words that are being used there on a person who is sitting on the number one seat of a country like Nigeria, where we have brilliant and creative young men. So you can imagine how this is going to limit, the growth that Nigerians would have gotten. So I'm just hoping. Each time I keep saying I'm just hoping that the Supreme Court will see the need. People have been shouting on Twitter that disqualify him, heaven will not fall. And like Dr. Tao made a reference last time, he said these judges don't even stand anything to lose, because when he's disqualified, he cannot, out of office, come to start, sanctioning them. He can't do them anything. Why won't they just see the need to rule and give Nigerians the befitting judgment that the Nigerians are asking for? Why can't they just do that? So we are just hoping that these people that have been chosen, but although the choice of men, the choice of judges that was made there did not really reflect all the sections of the country. Like you can see somebody commented and said none of the Igbos, I mean the Igbo judges was selected. But that's not even the case. Even if they bring only Northerners or only people from the Southwest, can't they look at the situation of Nigeria and try to remedy the current state of Nigeria? People don't find it convenient to come to Nigeria to invest. People don't even find it convenient to come and invest, to come and visit places. And the Supreme Court is just paying blind eyes to all this. So let's just wait and see what happens. No doubt by next week or so, the final ruling will be out, and then we'll see what they finally decided to do for Nigerians. So, Doc, back to you.
Okay. I wanted to say something. You said something about how Nigerians are going to cope. To be honest, is the reason why we say let justice be done. It's not necessarily whether the person who is in power is capable or not capable. I was on a platform where we're arguing on the issue of a state, and someone says, but the guy that eventually that is in power, the guy is capable. And I said, what has capability got to do? There are a lot of intelligent people who are not graduates. Do you see somebody walk in and say, oh, I saw him, he's intelligent on the street, and because he's intelligent, even if he didn't write exams, just give him certificate? The idea we are trying to say here is simple. Someone did not follow due process. It does not matter how capable the person is to be able to do a job. So what I'm trying to say in effect is that if the current president got this mandate on merit, it will still not make Nigeria not to be what we're going through today. Because obviously, if you listen to, I've forgotten the name of the former secretary of APC, PDP, who was Bugaje. If you listen to Bugaje yesterday on channels, he said it point blank that this government is blockhead. They don't know what to do. They don't even know how to do trial and error. But the reason why we want justice is not so that this trial and error will stop. The reason why we want justice is because let the person who has the mandate reclaim his mandate. INEC did not follow, lay down rules. Laws were broken. Laws were broken. If he got it by merit and he's fumbling, we will know that we brought upon ourselves someone who is fumbling. But this time around, it's like a double tragedy. They don't know what to do. They got in through the back door. It is just annoying. And you talk about the judges. Well, I am beginning to see more. The Chief Justice of the Federation just made his son a judge. One of the justices of the Supreme Court has his son as a top APC lawyer, and another son as a member of the APC House of Representatives. These are her children. These are her children. So she is a stakeholder in the APC project. She is getting, her family profile is rising via legal and professional fees paid to her son as a lawyer. And her family's lot is increasing through the millions being rolling in from APCs being a member of House of Representatives. The other day you were talking here how all the former governors have their children back in the House of Representatives and they're all heading committees. So there is no difference now between the politician and the judges. All of them are in it. All of them are in it. Justice Samani's wife is a commissioner in Bauchi State. Are you aware? She's a commissioner. She's a full-time politician. You remember then Motalanyako, how his wife used to be a judge, a high court judge. I don't know. I think she's still a high court judge. Okay? Peter Odili, the wife just left Supreme Court. So these people, I can't see the difference now. It's like we own the executive and we own the judiciary. They are working hand in hand. The judiciary helps to validate them. The politicians bully us to grab the mandate because, like we are told in London, power is not served a la carte. You have to fight for it, you have to chase it, you have to grab it, and you have to run. And if you're running, run into the judiciary, and they will just validate you. Case finished. That's how I'll summarize the Nigerian system. That is my current summary of the Nigerian system. And the judiciary seem to have understood that, listen, this thing is a cake. Grab your own, run with it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. That's what I'm seeing. So,
Doc, I wanted to say something. There is this news that the Supreme Court has just fixed, I think, October 31st to give judgment on this appeal that was made on about Hope Uzodinma. You can imagine Hope Uzodinma is about finishing his first tenure. Then the ruling on whether he was supposed to be the governor of Imo State or not is to hold this month, I mean this October. So you can imagine the level of frustration coming from our judiciary. I mean, these people appear to be even the worst hit. The people really causing Nigeria the pain this country is going through. So Hope Uzodinma was declared the winner. We know he came third, fourth, not even third, but he was finally made the governor of Imo State. So it appears the PDP still appealed that decision. So you can imagine that the hearing will be taking place on the 31st of this month when Hope Uzodinma's tenure, his first tenure, is about ending. So one keeps asking, is the judiciary even existing in the interest of Nigeria as a country?
they are, so far you can see the judiciary is currently, they seem to understand. I say, look, let's share this thing. Let's grab what we can grab, can it, and sit on the can. That's it. Nigeria is like a conquered territory. It's like a conquered territory. The judiciary and the politicians are grabbing whatever they can grab, using the law enforcement agencies to protect themselves. So it's a revolving door. You collect from the political side, you enter the next room, the judiciary endorses you, and they're not endorsing you for nothing. They collect their own. They put their own children in the bench as they are going. So it's a succession. When they leave, they put their own children, So it's a revolving door. That is it. Well, it's okay. We said it. We are coming this night to alert Nigerians. This is what we know so far. Let us see how from Monday going forward, whether Aaron Greenspan, on behalf of David Hundeyi, will make progress, whether they will be able to stay the hand, one, and secondly, let us also see how this hearing on Monday will be. After that, the Supreme Court could give them dates and say Wednesday will give you judgment. On Wednesday, they will release one-page judgment and say that the details will be released to them later. That may be in 2 months' time. And the man who will retire,
honestly,
will retire.
That's always their strategy.
And then they go. So Nigerians, that is it. Unfortunately. But this seems to be, it's like this October seems to be where we're going to be drawing the curtain on the whole journey of election. Remember that this election, the beavers alone and the IREV costed us about 400 billion naira. That's about $1 billion, because then it was about 460. That's what it costed, about $1 billion. That is what was ballooned. That is it. And the judges told us that they spend all those money for that infrastructure just for PR, just for branding, that it makes no sense. I am waiting to see how the Supreme Court really will deny themselves what they said in the case of Oyetola versus Adeleke, because they committed themselves then. They committed themselves in all the things they wrote in that judgment. But you see, if someone does not have shame, they can go ahead and change what they said in the morning and tell you go to court. Unfortunately, at this level, the only court we can go to is the court of heaven. So Nigerians, have a lovely weekend. Tomorrow the week starts. We're going to be meeting here on Sunday tomorrow to, if there is more updated information, come around this time again and get to hear what we have to say. And Monday being the working day of the week, we see how it runs. This is my own side, what I have for us tonight. And I say, good night all. Ifeoma, have you got anything else to say, or we draw the curtain here?
Thank you very much for your contributions. So, guys, that's all we have for you. We hope that the justices of the Supreme Court will summon the courage to do the needful. They should give Nigerians justice, because whatever they declare now, whatever ruling they make now, will automatically become part of our constitution, to become law, because people will keep making reference to whatever judgment they give. So we look forward to seeing how all this plays out. We want to say thank you for joining us. Please do us a favor, support us by liking this video so that YouTube can recommend it for more people to watch. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for more updates. With this, I want to say thank you for being a part of today's live show. See you again tomorrow. Good night.
Good night all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Yeah.